Okay, good morning everybody in the forum today. I'm from the For Democracy Party, whether all of you know us or not. But I'm glad that today we have a forum. It is a great forum because we have Mr. Pacquiao as our interpreter. You see, he is like Mr. Pacquiao. You think so? Okay, I am impressed a bit about Mr. Daniel first impression about Indonesia change about the presidential election and the parliament election, the separate between the presidential election and the government or the parliamentary election, because it is one of our mechanism, the last one. We would like to change the voting system in Cambodia from proportional representation system to party list system, because as we know in the national election 2013, you see in the ballot we have only the logo of the party, but without the real who is the candidate to stand for Phnom Penh, to stand for Kampong Cham region. That is what we want to say. We want to say today. And as I know, in democratic country, they have two main democracy. First one is direct democracy that is implemented long ago. But right now we call representative democracy. But in our country right now, do you think that it is the representative democracy? You see your congressmen in the parliament. What are they doing right now? Are they independent? Are they controlled by the party leader? Okay, this is what we want to say. And I would like to suggest Mr. Daniel that your next research on the YAP should be like this, or should be called like this: the YAP perspective on the electoral system or voting system, from proportional parliament system to party list system. This is what we want to change the most, because we would like to have our representative, not the logo. Okay, we vote for the man, not we vote for the logo. This is what I want to say, and I would like to share. Will you consider, Mr. Daniel, that your next research will be a little bit focused on the voting system in Cambodia, the YAP perspective? Okay, that's my question.
For me to answer. But I think the first question had some overlap with the second question, so I will try to elaborate a little bit more on this issue of some youth feeling, intimidated or afraid. They don't want to become involved in political parties. So what is it that you should do? So I don't think we often point to the flaws in the political systems and how things are run. This is no different from the United States. They also have a very strange election system, and a lot of people think it is corrupt and make it very difficult to have a fair and balanced election. So I don't think the answer is to complain and do bickering. I think what you as the youth should be doing, because you're young, creative and full of energy, what you should be focusing on, what you should focus on, are the things that you can do. First thing to do is to make sure everyone registered to vote. and exercise their right to cast the ballot and have their say. That is the minimum. Make sure you do that as number one.
ឧទាហរណ៍រឿងដែលស្រួលបំផុតគួរធ្វើក្នុងនាមជាយុវជនឬក៏អ្នកដែលរស់នៅជាមួយយើងឬក៏យើងចែកចាយបទពិសោធន៍ផ្សេងទៀតគឺការចូលឈ្មោះបោះឆ្នោតនេះគឺជាអីដែល step ដំបូងញៀនដំបូងមកការធ្វើ
Not everyone wants to engage and join a political party.
អូខេមកបទពិសោធន៍របាយការណ៍ដែលបងផ្សាយមកវិញមិនមែនថា 100% សិតតែចាប់អារម្មណ៍ចូលរួមតែតូនរឿងនយោបាយតែតូនរួមបកនយោបាយផងទេ
So leverage on networks like YRDP and other networks where you can engage and have a voice through other networks and other organizations.
ซึ่งเป็นยุทธการផ្សេងទៀតក្នុងការធ្វើការរឿងហ្នឹងមិនតែតូនជាមួយនឹងរឿងផ្សាយការស្នាមជាផ្សេងៗរឿងនយោបាយដោយមិនចាំបាច់ខ្លាចជាសមាជិកឬក៏ជាសកម្មជនរបស់គណៈបកណាមួយឬក៏ជាខាងអង្គការអភិវឌ្ឍន៍ជាតិប្រជាជនឬក៏អង្គការផ្សេងៗទៀតក៏បានធ្វើដូចយើងអាចចូលរួមដើម្បីចេញពីចំណុចហ្នឹងទៅមកដែរ
And the level up for that and level up from that would be to work to educate potential youth candidates to prepare them so that they can participate and have a chance of becoming elected.
ហើយចំណុចបន្តទៀតដែលយើងអាចធ្វើបានគឺកម្រិតនិងខ្ពស់នឹងទីបន្តិចទីហោបាននេះថាយើងធ្វើការជាភាសាគ្នាជាខាងរឿងអង្គការហ្នឹងឬក៏នៅក្នុងគណៈបកនយោបាយក្នុងការពង្រឹងឬសមត្ថភាពដើម្បីឲ្យយុវជនគាត់អាចលើកកម្ពស់នៅចំណេះដឹងនិងអបអរសាទររបស់ពួកគាត់នឹងបានដែរ
At the same time, I think you can also lobby for youth quotas, youth quotas in elections, youth quotas as members on councils and also members of parties. Lobby for these things and start with a small number. At least get someone in there.
ហើយចំណុចបន្តទៀតយើងធ្វើគឺធ្វើការដូចគាត់បានបញ្ជាក់មិញហ្នឹងការទៀមទាឬក៏បានថាជជែកពីភាសាសុំឲ្យមាននៅអកូតាបានថាចំនួនពិតប្រាកដណាមួយក្នុងការចូលរួមរបស់យុវជនហ្នឹងសូម្បីតែនៅតាមគណៈបកក៏ដោយថាតើគួរតែមានប្រមាណភាគរយទុកឲ្យយុវជនហើយនឹងចំនួនឧទាហរណ៍ថាសមាជិកសភាតើគួរទៅប្រមាណដែលមានអាយុតែជាង30ហើយសូម្បីក្រុមប្រឹក្សាភូមិសង្កាត់អីក៏យើងអាចធ្វើបានអានេះគឺជាចំណុចបន្តិចម្ដងដែលអាចធ្វើឲ្យឆ្លើយតបទៅនឹងអ្វីដែលយើងនិយាយថានឹងកាត់បន្ថយនឹងការភ័យខ្លាចឬក៏មិនចំណាប់អារម្មណ៍របស់យុវជននៅក្នុងរឿងនយោបាយ
Then I think you also need to think about how you're going to combat the argument. The old political establishment, their argument is, well, it's only until if you have a certain education, you come from a certain family, or you have a certain experience. These are the criteria to qualify you to participate in politics. This is their argument.
ហើយវាយើងបានដឹងថានៅក្នុងបទរបស់ជាក់ស្ដែងហ្មងនៅក្នុងសង្គមមួយអ្វីដែលយើងឃើញតើតើយើងនឹងចេញមកពីប្រភពគ្រួសារអញ្ចឹងយើងមានបទពិសោធន៍បែបនេះយើងមានការអប់រំបែបណាអញ្ចឹងបានពួកហ្នឹងអាចនឹងមានលទ្ធភាពជាបន្តប្រតិកម្មបណ្ដាញក្នុងការចូលឈ្មោះឬក៏ខ្លាយទៅជាអ្នកដែលមានសមត្ថភាពទាក់ទងនឹងរឿងនយោបាយបែបហ្នឹងប៉ុន្តែយើងអាចធ្វើការកែប្រែនឹងបាន
But you have to counter that argument, and I think the strongest argument is that, well, if you are, my age in this country, you are a quickly dying breed. You're like an endangered species.
ចឹងគឺយើងអាចនឹងរងមូលហេតុឬក៏រកហេតុផលផ្សេងទៀតមកបញ្ជាក់ដើម្បីប្រឆាំងឬក៏តបតជាមួយនឹងការលើកឡើងហ្នឹងបាននេះថាឧទាហរណ៍តើតើនឹងអាយុតើតើរឿងអីក៏ដោយបើនៅក្នុងប្រទេសគាត់ឬក៏អីផ្សេងគឺជាអ្នកដែលរៀងចាស់រៀងអីចឹងស្ថិតនៅក្នុងកម្រិតមួយដែលចិត្តបាក់បង់ឬក៏ចិត្តរលាយទៅអញ្ចឹងគឺយើងមានហេតុផលក្នុងការលើកឡើងដើម្បីឆ្លើយតបទៅជាមួយអ្វីដែលគេលើកឡើងពីខាងលើមុន
So it's common sense that someone has to take over from these people sometime in the future, and those people are going to be some of you guys. And so you need to be prepared now, not 10 years from now. It has to start now. That is the counter argument, I think.
ហើយនឹងវាជាសច្ចភាពរបស់ធម្មជាតិបានន័យថាមនុស្សទាំងអស់មិនអាចរស់នៅបានយូរវែងតទៅអញ្ចឹងត្រូវមានអ្នកដែលស្នងអញ្ចឹងអាការស្នងឬក៏ស្អីហ្នឹងត្រូវគឺការទៀមទាពេលវេលាក្នុងការរៀបចំហើយការរៀបចំមិនមែន10ឆ្នាំ20ឆ្នាំទៀតគឺចាប់ផ្ដើមពីឥឡូវហ្នឹងទៅអញ្ចឹងនេះក៏ជាហេតុផលមួយក្នុងចំណោមហេតុផលផ្សេងទៀតក្នុងការលើកឡើងដើម្បីតបតជាមួយនឹងអ្វីដែលគេលើកឡើងពីខាងមុន
But apart from being securing their own survival, what else is in it for them to do it? I think there are two more points. What's in it for them?
បន្តមកទៀតក្រៅពីហេតុផលទាំងអស់នោះខ្ញុំគិតថាមានហេតុផលពីរផ្សេងទៀតដែលយើងលើកឡើងអាចធ្វើឲ្យគេនឹងធ្វើការផ្លាស់ប្ដូរការគិតរបស់គេនឹងផងដែរ
By bringing in young people, you're going to have fresh, new ideas. All new ideas, it's the same with my company. It doesn't come from me. It comes from the young people that I employ.
ចឹងដើម្បីនឹងធ្វើការជំរុញការផ្លាស់ប្ដូរនោះយើងត្រូវនិយាយថាតើអាគំនិតcủaសកម្មភាពផ្សេងៗវាត្រូវមានភាពថ្មីឬក៏ភាពប្លែកពីអ្វីអ្នកដែលធ្វើពីមុនមកហើយគំនិតថ្មីៗទាំងអស់នោះវាកើតចេញតាមរយៈការចូលរួមរបស់យុវជនឬក៏អ្នកជំនាន់ក្រោយឧទាហរណ៍គាត់លើកថាក្រុមហ៊ុនរបស់គាត់អញ្ចឹងគំនិតដែលមានថ្មីទាំងម៉ានហ្នឹងអាចមកពីគាត់ខ្លះប៉ុន្តែពីច្រើនគឺមកពីអ្នកដែលរួមការងាររបស់គាត់នោះសុទ្ធតែយុវជនអ្នកដែលជំនាន់ក្រោយ
Secondly, I think the climate now in Cambodia is right. This is the right time for someone to step up and become a role model and say, well, we're going to do things a little bit differently now. This is the right time to do it. 10 years ago, it wouldn't have been the right time. Now, it's the right time to do it.
នេះជាការគិតផ្ទាល់របស់គាត់ឯងគាត់ថាឥឡូវនេះពេលឥឡូវនេះគឺជាពេលដែលសមរម្យក្នុងការដែលយើងចាប់ផ្ដើមបង្កើតឬក៏ធ្វើនៅអ្វីមួយសម្រាប់ឲ្យមានភាពស្នងណាស់ថាប្រហែលជា10ឆ្នាំទៅមុនប្រហែលជាវាអត់ទាន់ដល់ពេលដែលឥឡូវនេះគឺជាពេលដែលគួរតែយើងធ្វើការចាប់ផ្ដើម
I think the last question was, when are we going to consider the next future research, right? There are a lot of other interesting issues to research. I agree with that. I would love to do it. But we don't sponsor these projects. It's sponsored by other people, so it's not really determined by us. But if someone else wants to do it, we're not going to say no.
ចម្លើយឆ្លើយទៅនឹងសំណួរចុងក្រោយរបស់បងប្អូននោះគឺតកតងជាមួយនឹងប្រព័ន្ធនៃការបោះឆ្នោតតើការស្រាវជ្រាវរបស់គាត់ក្នុងបន្តទៅទៀតនៅថ្ងៃអនាគតគួរតែធ្វើការស្រាវជ្រាវតកតងពីប្រព័ន្ធនៃការបោះឆ្នោតការរើសអីវាជាយ៉ាងម៉េចហ្នឹងចម្លើយរបស់គាត់គឺសម្រាប់បំផុតគាត់គ្រាន់តែជាក្រុមហ៊ុនធ្វើការស្រាវជ្រាវនៅផ្នែកហ្នឹងឬក៏តកតងជាមួយនឹងសកម្មភាពនយោបាយការចូលរួមអីហើយគាត់អត់បដិសេធទេប៉ុន្តែតកតងនឹងធនធានបើសិនជាមានខាង donor ឬក៏អ្នកដែលផ្ដល់ទូមូលនិធិអីទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងគាត់ចាប់អារម្មណ៍ក្នុងផ្នែកហ្នឹងខាងគាត់នឹងធ្វើឬក៏មានខាងក្រុមហ៊ុនផ្សេងៗទៀតក៏គេនឹងចាប់អារម្មណ៍ធ្វើដែរនេះគឺជាចម្លើយដែលស៊ីគ្នាជាមួយនឹងអ្វីដែលលោកសុខាបានលើកឡើងហើយ
My question to Mr. Daniel. As you've already known, or probably whenever you hear about LDP, we always focus on the democratic, decentralized system. Because we believe that decentralized is essential to create an environment where youth can express their voice and that they can be representatives of the citizens. And so, my question is, how can you relate your findings and studies with the decentralized power that is not existing in Cambodia? Because decentralizing is very, very important. It is a crucial element. We also agree that what Mr. Chiu Sukha said earlier about financial need, youth have problems with finance, and that's a prime thing that we can see, but it is not the most essential thing that youth needs in order to participate. Decentralization is very important, and a need for understanding about how politics is and how it works is essential for youth to participate in politics.
You have a particular agenda. You want to influence someone to decentralize. So that's not really a question that I can answer. I mean, I provide the evidence that's there. And I think it can be used for a number of different things. I think it can be used for lobby efforts. It could be used to create press releases, to get information out in the media. It can be used to understand what you should be doing within your organization in terms of youth engagement, training youth, getting youth to participate in politics. Yeah? So that's what it does. Now, like I said, it may not answer all the questions, and maybe we should be going out and doing more research, honing in on some of the specific issues that we now realize are really important. But we need to know more information. We need to go more into depth, focusing on particular issues. This was quite a broad study, after all. Yeah. So I think that is the best answer that I can provide at this stage. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
ខ្ញុំសូមស្ដាប់ពីសិនចំពោះគាត់ថាសំណួរបងអូនហ្នឹងក៏វាមានសារៈសំខាន់ដែរប៉ុន្តែគាត់ថាការសិក្សាស្រាវជ្រាវហ្នឹងគឺនិយាយពីការជួលឃើញរបស់យុវជនតាក់ទងនឹងការចូលឈ្មោះហើយវាអាចនឹងប្រើទៅតាក់ទងប្រព័ន្ធនឹងច្រើន decentralization មានបច្ចេកវិទ្យាទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងប៉ុន្តែតើការប្រើប្រាស់របស់យើងនឹងយ៉ាងម៉េចអញ្ចឹងយើងអាចនឹងមានពេលភាសា FCC ពីគឺបាទ